Baby, make a speech, Star Wars fly, neighbors should shine at home. But if a night falls and a bomb falls, what is it about? If a night falls and a bomb falls, what is it about to see the dawn? Time.
Praise and thanks. Mojuba Akoda, Mojuba Asheda, Mojuba Aluami, Apolabi Pega. Mojuba Arabami, Adesanya Awuyade, Mojuba Ogute Compound Ojeremo, Mojuba Baba, Mojuba Yeye, Mojuba Egun, to all the God children, Mojuba Egun, to all the Babalawos, the Ears, Mojuba Egungun, to all the chiefs, Mojuba Egungun, to all the Awos, Mojuba Egungun, to all those that are listening, who are tuned in. We give praise and thanks to the Most High. We say Ashe, 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 oh.
Ashe. Welcome to Sign of the Times, everyone. This is Queen Tahira. Sign of the Times is brought to you by New Power Radio Network and the UAC, the United African Coalition for Justice and Human Rights. We began the UAC after the unjust Zimmerman verdict of July 2013, and we ask that you please consider making a $10 monthly commitment to help keep Sign of the Times on the air and expand the work of UAC. You can do that two ways, via our PayPal account and our email address as a gift, signothetimes19@gmail.com. Again, our email address is signothetimes19@gmail.com. You also can do it via U.S. Postal Mail at 1623 Dalton Street, Dalton, number 14939, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45250. Again, our mailing address is Sign of the Times, 1623 Dalton Street, Dalton, Cincinnati, Ohio, number 14939, and the zip code is 45250.
Well, as a former government teacher, I am very much interested in the route that the sister is taking, because we're in a position where we need to start looking at all the alternatives that we can, because, again, looking at the Electoral College, we know that that's a failed system. Anytime a person who wins the election wins with less than majority of the vote, then we know we're in the wrong system, and we need to start looking at all types of alternatives. And that's what I do in American Challenges in the Obama era, because just the fact that we've experienced all these violations of our rights and all of these police assassinations of our people, and all the oppression that's going on, we have to look out the box. We cannot continue to look in the box. We have to look out the box and see what other alternatives exist for us to pursue our freedom as a people. And so we do have to wonder, is white supremacy as the system of government stronger than the presidency? Well, definitely when a brother's in the office, that seems to be the thing. But again, we as a people have to look for alternatives so that we can find our freedom. And one of the best things we could do is to have our national hookup. Like on shows like this and at times like this, we need to be able to communicate with each other from coast to coast, from not only this continent, but to our homeland in Africa, where I lived 4 years and I was treated like a king. And I mean, I tell you, if any African American ever gets a chance to go to the homeland, they will know exactly what I mean in terms of the hospitality in Africa being, despite my southern relatives, better than the south of this country. I mean, African hospitality is something special I wish every African American in the U.S. could experience. But if you can't, you could always go and read Journey to the Motherland from San Francisco to Benin, a book that I had written when I first got back from Nigeria in 1981 and published in 2002, but it's still available as an ebook at Amazon.com. Kindle. So, yeah, we are dispossessed people. We are displaced people. We are people who need empowerment. And one of the ways that we can reach that empowerment is by employing a strategic national Black consensus. And again, that's really outlined in my first Obama book, American Challenges in the Obama Era, Part 1. But in order to just facilitate our discussion, a strategic national Black consensus, let's just say if it was applied to Sudan, because in Zimbabwe you have pretty much of a consensus. That's why they have been ruled without intervention all these years. But in Sudan, you have people who have fought 20 years to liberate themselves, and because they didn't unite with each other totally and don't have a consensus, now they're locked in a battle with each other. Mm-hmm. And so with African Americans, we have enough stuff that's been planted. We've been taught to hate each other. We've been forced to fight each other to the blood, sometimes to the death during slavery, even up until this century. So it's in our DNA to have all of this division, and we got to get it out of our DNA. We've got to somehow liberate our minds and liberate our people so that we could then face the oppression that we have in this country as a united people. And that's why I developed the Strategic National Black Consensus as part of my analysis of the Obama administration over the last 8 years. And I can see that we have to be able to survive whether we have a brother in the White House or whether we have an enemy in the White House. And that requires us to have a national strategic Black consensus, which is an agreement by our people on the things that we don't want to have happen anymore in this country and on the things that we do want to have happen. And so, yeah, I would hope that everybody would check that out and at least analyze what a strategic national Black consensus is as we move forward.
Ashe. And
Ashe.
May I ask you a question? Are you familiar with Social organization, Social government, similar to the one that they have in Ireland? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we have been looking at different ways, different modalities of governance. And what we come up with is, since we have so many beautiful organizations and with a common thread that we recognize that we're Africans and that we have been oppressed and we're oppressed Africans. We have the Nation of Islam, we have the Moors, and we all have that common thread and that love for our people, the reason why that these organizations were formed. We came up with an idea that these quasi-governments, quasi-political entities need to confederate and aggregate, with a central government, or we make a federal government or some form of a confederated government. That way we won't leave anyone out. So I'm glad that you are a political scientist, so I will be reaching out to you very soon. And I'd love to have your work so I can put it in my liberating literature that serves as a text review. And I yield the floor to my sister.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and bring in the call.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
No. Okay. Well, again, this is really important for us now that we do get on the same page with all the different entities that we have established throughout this whole country and throughout even the different regions here. So we do have to work together, and we need a basis. We need something that's going to empower us, because we do come from various elements, and we need something that's going to bring us together in a sense like something close to a consensus. And I'm familiar with the Irish situation and how they developed a government with the Northern Ireland, within the Northern Ireland situation. And yes, we do have to look at all kinds of alternatives that will empower us and relieve us from being unempowered as we are now. And thank you, sister.
Ashe. I'm going to go ahead and open up the caller. 81.